Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video on trimming. By now you've learned how to care for your scalp, how to set the perfect moisture routine for your hair, and now we're going to dive into the basics of trimming. So why do we need to trim our 4C hair? This is because we get split ends.
Split ends are hair shaft disorders where the hair shaft splits into two or more pieces and creates rough tangled ends. This typically happens more to type 4 hair because our sebum does not flow down the entire length of the hair. Because of this, when our hair becomes very dry, or we cut it with dull scissors, or using a lot of heat, or we neglect the ends and we're not moisturizing well, split ends can form. You cannot repair split ends, you have to trim them. But if you moisturize and seal that moisture in, you are more likely to prevent new split ends from forming, and that's the purpose of this video.
As we've emphasized before, you need your ends to stay on your head for the next 7 years in order for your hair to grow long. Please hear me well when I say this. Your ends must stay on your head for the next 7 years in order for your hair to grow long. However, not all is lost. We have a secret that can help you to reduce the number of times that you trim your hair or even to eliminate it completely. The best way to avoid trimming your hair is to make sure that your hair does not develop split ends. You cannot know for sure that, oh, I do not have split ends. I am 110% sure. That's almost impossible to say because you cannot examine every single hair on top of your head and be able to conclude this. However, you can reduce the number of split ends that you have by protecting your ends better. You can be able to protect them by applying flaxseed gel. Flaxseed gel contains omega-3 fatty acids, has vitamin E, and both of these ingredients help to nourish your ends and they coat your strands so that it helps to protect your ends from drying out. So what are the best methods to use to trim? One is you have to have the hair in a very stretched style. Either you've done African threading and you've stretched the hair to the maximum, or you've had a blowout. These are one of the times where you actually do need to use heat, and you make sure you follow steps to protect your hair before you apply this heat, and then you can do a trim.
Second thing is you have to use sharp hair scissors, not just any other scissors. These scissors must be strictly for trimming your natural hair. 3, you must work in small sections. You trim only dry see-through sections to avoid cutting excessively. Once you've trimmed your hair, you want to start protecting the ends to ensure that you will not need to require a trim anytime soon. So you need to apply your flaxseed gel after having moisturized the hair, or seal it with an oil.
If you trim your hair when it's in, let's say, these twists, you have to be very careful because you end up trimming off more hair than you realize. It's because when your hair is shrunken in this state and you trim it, it is very, very easy to make a mistake. So I would not recommend an unexperienced person to trim their hair when it is in a shrunken state. Try to stretch it out to the maximum possible, and then you trim it when you can actually see how much you're cutting. So if you are experienced and you feel very confident in your skills or trimming, you can go ahead and trim your hair in its natural twists. We are not here to stop you, but if you are not, kindly go to the salon, get your hair blown out, and get it trimmed layer by layer, line by line, not even all at once, unless you're going for a particular style. And the alternative is to avoid all this hair loss, hair breakage, excessive trimming. Apply flaxseed gel after you've moisturized your ends, and this will decrease the number of times you need to trim in a year. All you'll have to do is trim off knots when they form. Thank you so much for joining us in this very short lecture on trimming. It was very necessary for us to talk about this topic because it is important when it comes to your natural hair care. It's something that we cannot miss out on, and if you do not know, again, how to properly take care of your ends, you'll not be able to grow long hair. So it is important for you to realize that the more protected your ends are, the longer your hair will grow. So keep that tip in mind and tell us if you've started incorporating flaxseed gel into your routine. You can post in the WhatsApp group, or you can post in the comments below and tell us how that has impacted your hair journey. If you can go in for a length check after 3 months and tell us if your hair has grown longer because of incorporating these different tips and tricks that we're talking about in these different lectures. Tell us about that. Tell us your experience with the flaxseed gel, how your ends feel, how they look after you've applied it. Tell us any other differences that you've noticed. For instance, is your hair less tangled? Is it easier to work with? One last thing, do not trim your hair more than 3 times a year unless you intend to keep it short. This is called being scissor happy. Please stay away from those scissors. Too much of anything is bad. And that's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.